Let's go through legal number 446. Arithmetic slices to subsequences. And for this question, the slice is instead of that it is a subarray, it will be a subsequences. So it gives us integer array nums and ask how many subsequences have the diff will be equal. So for example, the first one, 2, 6, so there are 7, for example, 2, 4, 6, this, 4, 6, 8, and until 2, 6, 10, right? Well, look at um, the range. The range will say the nums is this kind of length is small equal to 1000, but the number range is kind of big, right? So we think about if we have the time complexity to be this length n squared should be fine, right? And we thinking about for every index, we count the we want to count every diff we have, right? So we should two-dimensional. One dimension is at index, and another dimension is for the differences. What is the longest subsequence so far, right? So so that we count for the previous one. For example, there is a j, right, which is also a diff. And which also count those kind of arrays for diff, right? So we count, for example, nums I minus nums 1, for example, this is d, right? So the things that we can try to see for this d, it will going to contribute to this I, right? Or add 1. So so the counts will be this one. The counts at I, right, will be dp jd will add to this kind of dp id should add equal to this jd, right? So for every dpi, this dp has two dimensions. One is n, or is I, another is differences. But the thing is that let's look at the number range. Number range is the whole integer array. So we say for the second dimension, if we use an array, right, apparently it's not suitable. It's too big, and also the number is not that many. So instead of have two-dimensional array, right, we can have a map. Map to for every index have a map, and the map will be key will be the diff we store, right? So that for the kind of sparse one, we just use the map. So the DP what we have is a map of map array. So the logic is the same. We look at the previous one from I and J, find the diff, and trying to see if this map has this key, this D key, right? And then it will contribute to current one. And we are looking for the subsequences. So the length too, we should also calculate. So the map I D map at index I with D, right? Well, equals itself plus equal to map at index J with diff D, right? And also plus one. The one is that this length two array, right? So the thing is that when we add this one, we cannot add this map i's result to our result because it consists a lot of subsequence with length two, right? But the thing is that for every map j's index, we can add to our result, right? Because when we add one more, because we are able to contribute later, when that means all of the subsequence end with J should be length greater equal to 2, right? So let's write code for this. We're going to have int I equals nums dot length and result equals to 0, right? We're going to use a map integer. So the key will be the diff, and the value will be the count. And we can use a map array called dp equals new hash map, and right. So we can have arrays set all apk goes to new hash map. Then we right for int I plus one, I smaller than I plus plus. Then we have for int j equals to 0, j smaller than I, j plus plus, right? So because this kind of number, every nums I and num j, they are in the whole integer array range. So that means that diff maybe auto arrange. So we need to use long, right? So delta equals 1L multiplied by nums I minus 1L multiplied by nums j, right? So apparently, if this kind of dt is greater equal to integer dot max, right? Or it is smaller equal to integer dot mean value. That in this case, right, means the j and I, one will be the smallest, and and another will be greatest, right? So we want to find if we want to have consecutive more than three, it's impossible because it need a minus 2 multiply 2 multiply integer mean for the previous one, or 2 multiply integer max for the one previous to j, right? So it's impossible we have a length of 3. So in this case, we just continue. And then we'll have change this d equals int d, right? So we'll have int count 1 equals, let's say this is DPI map, right? So this will be get all default b or 0, right? And the int count 2 equals dpj dot get all default b 0. So we'll always have result should add equal to count d the count 2, right, for the j's, because we are in for this counts, we are store those kind of subsequence which has length at least 2, right? And now this j, they are always able to have another number after that. So we'll see this counts 2 will always have subsequence is more than 3. And then we'll have DPI should put this kind of D. That will be counter 1, the original one, right? And also counter 2, because J and I, uh, um, those kind of sequences which end with number J, they can add to I, right? And we can also also add 1 here. That is the sequence only IJ. So should put plus count 1 plus count 2 plus 1, right? And in the end, that's the return result. Doing like this, the time complexity will be O n square, and the space will be O n, right? And let's also write a Python code for this. So we are going to has a map dict dictra. Uh, hmm, I think it has this one. So we are going to have n equals the length of nums, and the result equals 0, right? And then we're going to have dp equals we need to have a default dict uh, int for in range n, right? So then what we do is that for I in range 1 to n, then we're going to have for j in range I. Um, so we'll have dt equals nums I minus nums j, right? Mm. So for pattern, we don't need to check whether it's greater than max or not, right? Because uh, because it is giving us an integer, we don't need to worry about the bounds. And if it does not, of course, we don't need to check the bound, but the thing is that, and also because the data is in the range of integer, so if we don't check, it should be fine because it is impossible that we have the more than 3 sequences that is for example that we need has at least 2 multiplied in integer max, right? So if we don't check, it will still be okay. So um so what we write is int so count um so if let's write this as t directly. So we'll have um, d di um, for this map. Let's say dp, right? dpi d should always add equal to one, right? Because the j and I there is one subsequences. So we'll write if d in dpj, if it has contains its key, right? So we'll have dpi d it also plus equal to dpj d, right? And we'll have result should add equal to dpj d. And in the end, just a return result.